Welcome back to Art with Mrs. Bowie. Today we're going to be doing some weaving. We're going to be weaving paper today. With weaving, you're going to need a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, you can just use a book or any other straight edge, a pencil, scissors, and glue. So we'll go ahead and get started, and you'll also need paper of two different colors. If you want to use white paper and maybe a magazine paper, that's fine as well. As long as you have just two different types of paper, it'll make the weaving a little bit easier. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Make sure that your papers are the same size. I'm just using the 9x12 paper, construction paper, regular paper, that'll work. So now we'll go ahead and we'll get started. So I'll start with one piece of paper. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with my orange. And again, you can use whatever colors you'd like. So what I'm going to do is this paper right here, I'm going to fold it into a hamburger. So remember, there's hamburger and hot dog. I'm going to fold it into a hamburger. So remember, this is hot dog. Hot dog's like the long way, like I have a long hot dog. I'm folding hamburger style. So I'm going to fold hamburger style. Now, after I fold hamburger style, I'm going to kind of play like I have a puppet, right? Like this is a paper puppet. I have this part is the lips. Hello, how are you today? And then there's this part on this side that does not open. So you want to make sure that you're focused on the part that has the lips, the part that opens. So the part that opens, I want you to get your straight edge, or I want you to get your ruler. Make it meet up with the edge of your paper, and then you're going to get you'll get your pencil, and then you'll just do a line. If you need to turn your paper and then do your line, that's fine. So I have a line right here that's about the width of my ruler. It doesn't matter what size your ruler is. That will just kind of give us a little border. So now what I'm going to do, pretend that these are the lips. Make sure you test it and you open it up. If you can't open up that part and it doesn't look like you have a lip on that side, go ahead and just flip your paper over and you can still do it. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to use my ruler, and here I have my inches, and I have my centimeters. So make sure that you have it on the correct, make sure that you're reading the correct numbers. So I'm reading inches. What one of my teachers told me is that an inch is maybe approximately one segment of your finger right here. So, okay, so about an inch. So I have my inch right here. I'm just going to make my ruler as straight as possible, and then I'm going to put a dot at each inch. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and then I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to move it up. And all this is doing is that I'm just getting guidelines for myself. So again, I'm going to put a dot at each inch mark. I'm putting a dot at each inch mark. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the dots. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to connect the dots, but I'm going to stop at that lip part that I just made. I'm going to stop at that lip line that I just made. So I'm going to make a perpendicular line to that lip line, and I'm using these two dots as my guide. So I'm using these two dots as my guide, and I'm going to go all the way down. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Don't stress out about it. This is just to kind of give us a guide. So now I have my lines, and then I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to cut. So I'm cutting to the part that opens, and I'm going to stop at that lip line. I'm going to stop at that lip line. So I'm going to use my scissors and I'll cut and stop at that lip line. Use my scissors and stop at the lip line. So I'm cutting on those lines that I made. Whoops, okay, I went a little bit over, but again, it'll be okay. Now on my blue paper, I have the long side and I have the short side. What I want to do is I want to make sure that I line up my ruler. I'm going to line up my ruler so that it lines up. Like if it goes like this and it's too long and it doesn't meet up, then that's not right. So I'm going to line up my, if you have your 12-inch ruler, you're going to line up your ruler with your paper. So again, I'm going to do the same thing as I did before. I'm going to line it up and then I'm going to do my mark at every inch. 1 inch, 2 inch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then I'm going to take my ruler, move it up, and then I'm going to do the same dots. Okay, I'm making a dot at every inch, and then I will be connecting my 2 dots. So remember, make it so that your ruler fits with your paper. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to connect those dots together. So I've connected those dots together. Connect those dots together. And again, if it's not perfect, it's okay. This is just a guide for us. And remember, when we use our rulers, I'm using big hands. I'm using big hands. I'm holding it in the middle. Big hands, that means that I'm spreading out my fingers. I'm not just using my finger like this, because when I use my finger like this, it'll pivot. That means that it'll move. So we don't want our ruler to move. So I'm using big hands and I'm holding it down in the middle. And that'll help give me a nice straight line. So again, I'm still going down and I am meeting all those dots. Last one. And you won't use all of this paper, so it's okay if some of them aren't perfect. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut on each of those lines. So again, when you're cutting, you're wanting nice straight edges. And again, just try your best. As long as you're trying your best. I don't want really jagged looking pieces here because then it won't make your weaving look very nice. So when we weave, we're going to be going in and out, and you have to pay attention because you want to make sure that you're doing the opposite each time you're weaving. So, excuse me. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut all of this, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start weaving. So when you weave, you're going to take the paper of the opposite color. You're going to take the picture, sorry, you're going to take the paper of the opposite color. Take the paper of the opposite color. And you're going to open it up. So again, it was closed. I'm going to open it up. And then now, here comes the weaving part. I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to go over, under, over, under. So I'm going to go over this piece, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. So whatever you're doing, do the opposite, over, under. Now I'm going to go to the opposite side. The opposite side should look different. So if you look here, in order to create kind of that that tic-tac-toe or the checkers or checkered board look, you have to do the opposite to the other side. So here I have purple, here I have yellow, here I have purple, here I have yellow. And the same thing when we created our over-under effect, we did the same thing doing that. So now, here I have blue. So I'm going to go under, over. So you'll create that checkered effect. Under, over, under, over, under, over. And you just have to figure out that first one, and then you'll just be able to figure it out. So then you do it, and then I'm going to push it all the way over. Make sure that you push it all the way over. Then now, I'm going to take my next one, and then I'm going to do what I did that first time. So now I'm going to go over, under, over, under, over, under. And I'm going to keep doing this until I get all the way to the end. Now, when you get all the way to the end. It may or may not fit perfectly. It's okay. Mine does not fit perfectly either. So mine does not fit perfectly either. So you'll put that through. And so you'll do this until you get all the way to the end. Now, when you get all the way to the end, and I'll show you here, mine doesn't fit perfectly either. It has like a little bit of space right here. It's okay. Don't worry about it. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get your glue, and you have all of these pieces at the bottom. So what I'm going to do, and you see how these pieces come up? I'm just going to put a little bit of glue and put it down. Pick it up, put a little bit of glue, put it down. Pick it up, put a little bit of glue, put it down. Pick it up, put a little bit of glue, put it down. Okay, I did that. Now I'm going to do the top. Same thing. Pick it up, put a little bit of glue, put it down. Pick it up, a little bit of glue, stick it down. Pick it up, a little bit of glue, stick it down. Pick it up, put a little bit of glue, stick it down. Now I'm going to flip it over. Same thing. So what this does is that this will keep your pieces from falling out. Like it might stay, but this will just reinforce it because our weaving may not have the whole thing there. So and here's my last one. So let me show you. So today we did our weaving. And hopefully this was something that you had fun with, that it's hands-on, it makes you think a little bit, and I like it because it helps you practice problem solving and looking at patterns. So it's one of my favorite projects. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.